to
the Breathe and Bond
podcast.
We are so happy to have you back. If you don't know already, I'm Tiwa.
I'm Tola.
And we are mums of wonderful,
amazing,
incredible,
outstanding,
chocolate,
handsome, delightful, fantabulous
boys who have an autism diagnosis. This is the space where SEN parenthood meets womanhood, sisterhood, but also our tribe. And that gets us ready for today's episode, Tola.
We're so happy to have you here.
Too excited because today we are introducing someone incredible.
A very special guest.
His name is Carl.
Wow. Let me just try to introduce him. You know, when I started sharing about my son, I was seen as someone that has an autistic adult. And I'm the one that is constantly seeking other people on this journey, but older, to get inspiration from. And when I found Carl, I was like,
Yeah. Carl is
amazing.
He's an amazing man.
He's an advocate.
And he has an autism diagnosis himself.
And he shares his lived experiences.
And one of the things I love most about him is the pride, the audacity, the audaciousness to speak about not just autism, but autism within the Black community and as a Black man. And I'm going to leave it for him to say, but he said something already today that made me go, woo. Such a proud advocate to be a Black man who is autistic and to be an advocate for other Black males too, and just for people in our community. So without further ado, we are welcoming our new friend, I'm going to beg friend, our new friend, Carl,
now.
to the Breathe and Bond podcast.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it is amazing to have you.
Yeah, I feel very honoured to be part of your podcast. When Tola messaged me out of nowhere, so could you come to this podcast? I was like, yeah. I'm very excited because I also want to put my awareness, my business, my awareness out there, and be able to minister to lives, and impact the lives of others. Because me going for what I went through, I know that if I can touch one parent or one young man, one autistic young man, then I know that I've done my job. So
we are so honoured to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
No worries.
I'm a bit
taken aback.
I'm a bit in awe at the moment.
Me too.
I'm a bit in awe at the moment, Carl. I have a son.
Okay.
His name is Levi. And he's 6 years old.
Wow.
And I have found that often, maybe more than I even talk about Carl, I envision him as a man. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. I envision him, how he's going to look, his skin, his hair, if he's going to have a beard like you, or if he's going to not have so much, not be a part of the beard gang. And I have all these dreams about who I want him to be, how I want him to be able to advocate for himself. And right now I'm staring at you and I'm thinking, oh my God, this could be Levi. Look, imagine if my boy is doing this in how many years' time. I just want to say, even before we end, Carl, it is honestly such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Such an honor. Yeah. Such a blessing. You don't know how much you're blessing me right now to see you sitting here. Honestly, my heart is so full. You sitting here like this because you don't even know your presence in this room alone is giving me so much hope. I feel like you're now an added extra prayer point.
Wow.
Absolutely. 100%. I said it before. Like, you don't have much in terms of things to go by. There's no real roadmap. And sometimes you have big dreams for your child's future, but it gets tricky. It gets finicky. The lines start to thin out. You don't know for sure. But then we see people like you, married.
Let's not even get into it yet, Carl!
Yeah.
Let's start.
Okay, let's do this, man.
So, Carl.
Yes.
I had a list of questions that I
Wow.
wanted to ask.
Whoa. Okay.
No pressure.
But
No
you
pressure.
being here in the room makes me want to chuck it all out in the bin and just speak from the heart and just, I just feel like your gift to everyone watching and to us, and I just want everyone to hear your heart. So I guess, and I want to jump in because I know you're not a man that's just afraid to be deep.
No.
And say it how it is.
No, I'm not afraid of that at all.
I think my first question, Carl, is how would you describe yourself?
Well, well, the way I would describe myself is I'm very passionate. I'm very enthusiastic, as you can kind of read the vibes. I'm all about the energy. I'm all about giving out the positive. I'm always being about being the best version of myself, giving up positive energy. Making a difference. Always being a friendly person. That's how I describe me. I'm overly friendly sometimes, to be fair, but there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest. I just like being unique. I like being different. I like to be what people don't expect of me. So, and I thrive with it. Like, I always have this saying, always prove people wrong. Not even just having an autistic diagnosis, but like, but that's just one part of my identity, but that's not who I am. I'm just a God-fearing guy. I believe in God. I have faith. God, it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake that I'm here today. It's not a mistake that get to just to speak myself, really. So yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Really.
Have you always been like this, Carl, or is it something that you had to transition or transform into? Have you
I've always had a smile on my face, but to answer it, yes, I have had to go through some transition. So, getting into my teens, just having to learn to accept who I am, having to learn to accept it, especially I was diagnosed with autism young, but, I've always had that, I've always had people around me, like not just friends, but my family always telling me, Carl, be who you are. This is the way God created you. Accept who you are. It's having those words of encouragement. That's just made me who I am today. And it's made me not be ashamed of accepting me. Because at the end of the day, if I'm not who I am, I won't be here today. So, and that's just a simple truth. And I'm not apologetic. I'm not sorry for that. I'm not sorry at all. And I shouldn't be sorry for it, to be honest. And having a supportive wife over here as well, I can't stop looking at her enough, to be honest. She's really embraced me. She's really got me out of my comfort zone, even things that I wasn't even aware of. And she just said, baby, you just got to be yourself. You just got to be who you are. Like, it don't matter what other people think about you. It's about what God has thought for you, And I'm not ashamed to mention God, because I know the struggles that I came from. I came from not even speaking a sentence. So, I was nonverbal, as you believe it or not, from birth to 7 years old. From birth to 7 years of age. So, yeah.
I have a tissue in my pocket. I'm like, do I need to rip it out now? I promise you, I am fighting. I am fighting tears right now.
It's so hard to believe that you were non-verbal till 7.
Yeah. I did speak from birth to 7 years old, and going through that journey, getting the diagnosis. I was diagnosed. I was very, very blessed and fortunate to be diagnosed at 18 months old. It was through the health visit. You got to thank God for the health visitors, man. If it wasn't for the health visitors to tell my mum that that your son is not developing as a normal child, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't be able to embrace who I am, And through that journey, I went to a mainstream nursery. Then obviously back in those days, in 1997, 1998, they didn't know how to deal with somebody with autism as much. They didn't have as much resources back then. But then going to my special needs primary school, it's been a blessing because I had access to the speech therapist. You got to big up the speech therapist. I had access to speech therapy. All the necessary services that I needed at that time. I had the carers that used to take me out from as long as I can remember, from probably the age of 5 or 6, even up to the age of 11. Throughout my primary school time, and then I started speaking when I was 7. Thank God for the church. Church I grew up in. Through prayers, through family, through prayers and stuff. I remember speaking my first word at 7. I said that my mom gave birth to my baby brother Andrew, and that was in 2001. So that's when my brother was born. That's when I started talking, and ever since then, the rest is history. And this is where it's gonna get a bit emotional. I'm not gonna cry, but
we've got tissues if you need it.
Yeah, that's all right. What it is that I felt like I was in an alien world. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know how to navigate because I couldn't even communicate. This is when I was non-verbal, by the way. And yeah, it wasn't easy, but yeah.
You are saying so much. I feel like we can't even move on from. You've said so much. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I don't want to do is run over the gems that you are dropping.
Absolutely.
And so I'm going to dial it back a bit.
Okay.
I'm going to start with something you just said, and I'm going to do it selfishly because my child is going to be 7 in a few months. Yeah, he's going to be 7.
Okay.
And he said his first word about a week and a half ago.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just a couple days ago, I have a friend, funny enough, that I call Alien. I think she is the best thing since sliced bread. And you know what she said to me? My alien friend said to me, I say it in a good way, by the way, because I just think she's so special and out of this world. She said to me, what she really wants to know, and I almost feel like you're an angel sitting here right now, because I'm going to ask you the same question. She said, I want to know what Levi would be thinking if we were to ask him questions when he can speak and when he's fully speaking. What was he thinking when he was non-verbal? So you mentioned, Carl, about how you were feeling like an alien when you were still considered non-verbal.
Yeah.
I want to talk a bit about that.
Okay.
Before you spoke and said words, how were you feeling inside when you weren't able to get those words out?
To be honest with you, yeah, I'm gonna strip it right back. I felt trapped. I felt a lot of feelings, to be honest with you. I felt trapped. It's like I wanted to say it, but I couldn't say it, if that makes sense. I didn't know what to say. I don't know. Like, I genuinely didn't know how to express it. And I always wanted to talk because I'm a chatterbox. I can't stop talking now. But back then, when I was non-verbal, it was very, very difficult for my family, especially my mum. I had time to, coming from an immigrant family. I'm coming from Ghana, and my mum coming over here. She didn't know what to do with somebody like me. Autism wasn't heard. She never heard of it until I was diagnosed with it. That's when she started educating herself, and through the carers, through the health visitors, the doctors, educating her, because it was foreign. I was communicating through sign language, picture boards, things, people, you're someone, I don't know if you're someone communicates with picture boards, but it really helped. It really helped me start to develop that language, and having a speech therapist that genuinely cared for me and that genuinely worked at my pace. There was no pressure for me to be talking at a certain age or a certain time. It's just when it happened. And yeah, I hope that answers your question, sir.
Oh God, I don't know what to do with myself.
It's okay. It's fine.
Do you remember? Do you mind if I ask this? Do you remember what it felt like when you first spoke?
No. To be honest, I don't. I don't really remember.
Know what your first word was?
I remember what my first word was. I remember saying that my mum gave birth to my baby brother. That was what my first words were. I can remember that.
What was the word? Say what did you say?
I said my first words were, my mother gave birth to my baby brother Andrew. And I said that, it was actually funny enough, last month I went back to my special needs primary school to give a coffee morning talk to parents.
Wow.
And I remember the teacher that was there at the time, she actually remembered when I came into the class and said that. I didn't remember this, but she told me that. That's what you literally said. And I was like, wow.
The whole sentence?
Yeah, I said the whole sentence.
So the first time you spoke was in school?
Yeah. In school, and then I testified in church afterwards on that same weekend.
We have to say this.
Oh my.
Kevin's first word was at school.
I dropped him off. Usually he knows how to wave, but it's just a wave. I say the bye, he does the wave. But when he's waved and said bye, I grabbed my son back. There's no school today. We are going to party. Because, you get so stuck in the routine of what it's like. You wait for it to happen. You want it to happen, but nobody gives you insight into how it's going to happen.
Exactly.
And then you almost think that, no, maybe because I've been thinking about it too much, it happened in my head. Because all day, I was making him say this bye. I'll wave again. Say bye. Wave again. Say bye. It felt so unreal.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, how many years later, Levi's first word was at school too, in the exact same way. His dad dropped him off, said bye Levi, and then guess what? He lifted up his hands for the first time because he's not even waving. He said bye, just like that. So our sons had the same words in the same way, which is crazy.
So
That's crazy.
But I'm asking Carl, obviously, because I'm here right now with a 6-year-old who's got one word and has so much more in Jesus' name coming.
Amen.
I know it.
In Jesus' name.
If I'm being really honest, to hear that you felt trapped, it's heartbreaking for me. Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But the hope, seeing you sitting here chatting away, is also so incredible.
For me as well, sis.
Yeah.
For me as well. And because I share content about, mine and Kevin's journey with autism, and people often see the way he's chatterbox with me, but not everybody gets that chatterbox, Kevin, because it's 19 years in the making of me, understanding his gestures before the language came in, or even the words, the way he pronounced it before the proper pronunciation that we know and get came to effect. So I still worry because that doesn't translate into college. It doesn't translate into when he's in the shops. He doesn't have the same confidence because he can say what he wants. I'm not going to, everything he says is a plus. Whatever he says is a plus. So he doesn't have to think about anything. Like, he just says it. It flows as the way he feels it. He says it.
Yeah.
But I'm still praying for that to translate into several other relationships, that he's confident, because he is with me. I'm his mom. He can do no wrong in my eyes.
And
But then when
maybe
it comes to
one day on the podcast like this. Do you know what, Carl? Me and Tola can talk forever because we always do. And we're always talking. And we're always on the phone for hours talking.
No, it's fine.
And no, but you're here. So it's all changed. It's all changed. You're here right now. Carl, you said another thing.
yeah.
Okay.
Another huge
Big
thing.
thing.
And there's so much about you. It doesn't have the megaphone in our culture, in our community. Carl, you are a black male. You're a black male.
Yeah.
And on top of being a black male with an autism diagnosis, you're a man of faith. And one of the things that inspired me deeply was going on your page and seeing you and seeing how real your faith is for you, how much you speak, how your faith literally oozes from you.
Yeah.
Carl, let's be real. Autism and faith, for so many people, don't go together.
No, it doesn't.
And I'm not going to go too much into my personal about it just because you're here and I don't want to take up all the time.
No, it's okay.
But there are so many people that have left church, left faith, whether they're Muslim, whether they're Christian, because actually sometimes in our faith spaces, it's that child has got a demon and needs to be prayed out.
Healed.
That diagnosis needs to be...
Cursed
And
out.
so some people can't reconcile that diagnosis and faith. Talk to us about what that means for you, being an autistic Christian.
Wow. Yeah. Oh boy. That's a good question. I feel like I've always been embedded in faith. Like my mum's a prayer warrior.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Proper praying for me, like, for as long as I could even remember. She even tells me sometimes, even today, she prayed about this time, the time that I'm going to be speaking, and she had faith, and her faith is unbelievable, to be honest. And then it feeds on to me, And my mum could have been in exactly the same situation you just mentioned around her. She could have quitted church. There's been times when my parents, it was difficult for them. It was difficult for them to open up about the struggles that they're having with me when I was nonverbal. But just seeing that faith, seeing that church community, seeing the support that you get. And my mum never said, "Oh, my son's a demon." No, she never said that. And she never said that once. And it's so easy, let's be real, coming from an African descendant community, it's, this guy, he's a witch, he's a demon, he's all that because of having a disability. And this is why, I thought, no, this has to change. And I actually did one of my TikToks on autism versus culture. And when I mentioned on that, I don't know if you've watched it or not, but I was just keeping it real. Some of the insults that you say, you don't know how much that affects that child until they get older, until they get to this space, and they start to deep it for themselves. So, for example, I do remember my dad saying, "Oh, this guy's stupid." I do remember him saying that. He thought it was just a bit of banter, but in reality, it wasn't banter to me, because this is stuff that a lot of people with colored skin that goes through, and they go through this every day. It becomes, for them, they numb it, they learn to mask it. And that's when the masking kind of comes into it a bit more. Because it's like, they can't be their real selves, because if their own families can't accept them. There's even sources from my family members now that don't really know that I've got autism. They don't really know, but they don't really know due to the fact they just don't know how to accept it. So, but it is sad, but that's the reality of it, really, to be honest. And I'm just going to keep, this gives me the motivation, that gives me the faith, it's the faith, it's God's faith, it's the inner faith that I didn't have, it's God that gave me that strength to be able to talk on TikTok and be able to be real and be vulnerable and be able to minister lives. I'm not doing it for myself, I'm not doing it for clap, I'm not doing it for recognition. I'm doing it because I know that if I can impact one life, if I can impact one young person, someone similar to myself, that I know I've done my job in itself. I know that I've done what God gave. It's a calling that God gave to me, is to make a difference. That's the calling, and yeah.
Wow.
So it's a bit deep, but
You're dropping so many nuggets.
And please don't apologize. This is
It's everything. Say with your family, and I know you mentioned that your mom is a big supportive and protective factor for you. But how do you then navigate your other relationships? Like, what's it like with siblings, with friendships?
Funny enough, funny enough, I actually did a TikTok video on having a sibling with ASD. So that was talking about me having ASD, and then my sister, and how did she navigate? My sister was just patient with me. She was very protective. I had a very protective twin. I'm actually a twin, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm actually a twin. So my twin sister was very, very protective, and she was always standing up for me, especially in family circles when they were like calling me names or calling me weird or just calling certain terminologies. I know you both, you've probably gone through similar in the past, where they call, like, especially with family members which they don't really understand it. So this guy's weird, they're just a bit strange. Like, why is he like this? Why is he like that? But my sister was always defending me, and it helped a lot, because me and my sister, we have a special bond. It's a bond, and I have a special one with my little brother as well. He's the reason why I'm talking today. He's one of the reasons why I'm talking, to be honest. Like, and my wife can explain it for herself, and that our bond is unique. It's different. We're not obvious about it. Not a lot of people know that me and my sister are twins, or not a lot of people like me having a little brother. We're not obvious. I don't like to make it too obvious, but I know that deep down I have a lot of love for them. I know they've got a lot of love for me too. So yeah, and then my dad also been supportive too. Like, even I remember at my wedding. My Greece wedding last year, he actually revealed a bit about my story, about how going through what I went through, and how proud it was for me to be married and to find a good woman that is there for me. And I've had, in terms of friendships, to answer your question, it wasn't easy for me to have friends. When I was your son's age, when I was a little kid, I didn't have a lot of friends in primary school, I'll be honest. And even it kind of affected into secondary school as well. I went to a mainstream secondary school as well, and it took me to I'll probably say year 8, so when I was about 12 or 13, for me to start knowing what friendship actually really means. And, I had some help with the peer mediators in my secondary school, a buddy that kind of helped me to show me how to navigate friendship, how to communicate, how to be able to, articulate within social circles and stuff like that. And now I'm very, very loved by a lot of my mates. I've got a lot of close friends. I'm very loved by a lot of people, so... And they love me for who I am. They say, "Oh God, you're so enthusiastic. You're so passionate. Bro, you're so unique. Bro, I love you, bro." Like, all this sort of sayings. Yeah, man.
Carl, please permit me. I made a video very recently about my son, because we make lots of videos. I like to document these things. Yeah. And he said to me just last week, since I don't know if you saw that video.
I saw the video last week.
He said,
I did.
And he usually would make some references like that, though, that I feel like I'm missing out. And he would see, like, after school, like, there's a group of friends, and, they go to chicken and chips or wherever it is that they go to. And it's only in this last year, he's literally in the last year of being in college now, and it's only in this year that he's made 2 solid friendships. Wow. He didn't have any throughout secondary school. He had friends from, like, my friends' kids, like, friendship by default is what I call it. Like, they know him, they love him, and they're friends with him. And even though he now has these 2 people whom it took a while for me to even warm up to, because you get so protective, because people say mean words, and they do mean things. Yeah, they do mean it, yeah. But these 2 people, they're solid for him. But then he's still looking at this group friendship and missing out. And in that video, I didn't have the words. Nothing prepared me. And I still don't have the words, because it's something that he clearly craves. And hearing you talk about your mates and how they root for you and how they, give you all those words of affirmation, it makes me want it so much more for Kev now. And it makes me start to think about what way that I can make that happen. And can you help? Like, how did you get to that bit?
And you know what? I want Carl to answer your question and mine together. Because
I'm bombarding you now.
No,
sorry.
No, it's fine. It's this is what I'm here for. Like, to answer your question, Tola, can I answer it separately?
Of course you can.
Thanks. So to answer your question, Tola, about the group shit thing, it came over time. To be honest, it was not easy, because I was in the same boat when I was 18, 19. I was in the same boat. Like, I had friendship groups at college, but then I was finding it difficult to accept that they're not going to be in your life forever. Like, I only got a few college friends I can count probably in one hand. Probably about five college friends. This is from college though. But then when I went to uni, like, thank God I went to a really good university. I went to Bournemouth. It's very, like, Bournemouth is quite a smallish town. Like everyone kind of knows everyone. So I was a bit of a B-not, so a big name on Compass, because I used to do talks. Like, I used to share my story about autism on Facebook and Instagram Live. But this was when Facebook was a bit more popular then, like in 2014, 2015. And that's when I started becoming popular. I started becoming popular for the right reasons. Everyone loves me. Like I was having, not as females, but I had like guy mates. So like, I'll be honest, like...
Love it.
No, I'm just going to keep it real. Like, I just joined societies. I just joined clubs. That's how I started. And then I started to know the ones that are really there for me. Like, some of my closest friends, I met them at uni. Like, some of my closest friends, some of them came to my wedding, my traditional and my wedding. Some of them came, actually, that have been there. Like, one of my close mates, Mike, he's got ADHD. We've gone through similar journeys with a difference. He's got ADHD, I've got autism. And then my other close mate, Joe, he's dyslexic, and then my other mate, my old housemate, who's also on the he's not autistic, but he's got ADHD, which Kevin has as well. Kevin has as well, and he's got ADD, so he's got both. So we've gone through similar journeys, you know what I mean? So once you find that circle, like, and I really got hope for Kevin, and I know that Kevin's gonna be alright, and I have faith that, you know, those two friends he might make in college, if he goes to his next step, I don't know if he's going to go to uni, I don't know if he's going to get into employment. Like, you see him, he likes cooking. So if he wants to get into a job, I just pray that, honestly, that the right friends are going to come to him at the right place at the right time. Like the way it happened to me. Like how it happened to me, to be honest. And don't lose hope in him. Don't give up on him yet. Honestly, my advice is, he will get those friends. He will get that group of friends. It doesn't need to be 20, 30 people. Even if it's like even if it's like 2 to 3 people that are just going to be real with him, you know what I mean? Who's going to get him out of his comfort zone, who's going to challenge him. Like, and I'm talking about challenging him emotionally in a good way, like in a positive way. Like, because like, the friends I've got, the friends I just mentioned, they challenge me. They're not afraid. They're not afraid to confront me if I'm doing something wrong. If I'm messing up, I'll give you one good example. I'll never forget this. I was at uni. I was in my second year. And one of my close mates, Matt Sweeney, his name is, and 6'10", big friend, BFG. And no, he's a big friendly giant. But the point is, like, he told me, like, oh, the way you're moving, the way you're chasing about women, the way you're doing things, it's just wrong, bro. Like, this is not how we do it, man. And for him to sit me down like that, I felt like it was the Holy Spirit that revealed that to him, because he didn't have to sit me down like that. I thought, no, like, this guy's keeping it real, so I'm going to have to listen here. And that's important. Like, I don't want Kevin just to be friends with... I don't want him just to make friends with any random people because of empathy or because of sympathy. That's not a friend. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry to say this, but
it's true.
You know, you want to have those friends that are gonna be there for you. You want to be comfortable, because of course, as a parent, you're gonna be like, my mum was doing the same thing. She was protective. You know, if I didn't listen to my parents, there were certain friendships in secondary school that my parents didn't really feel comfortable with me hanging around with. If I didn't listen to them, I won't be here sitting here today. I won't be married. I won't be sitting here. You know, so that's just the way it is.
Carl, you know what?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that answer.
Okay.
I wish we could have you here forever.
Same.
Honestly, I wish I could sit. I wish. And you know what? You mentioned some things that I want to come to.
Okay.
I think, I'm not sure if you answered the question that I was going to ask, but what I was going to say, you don't have to answer it with this, was just that me and Tola's friendship is an interesting one, because Kevin's 19 and my son is 6. Yeah. And sometimes it feels like I'm looking at all the things that might be ahead. And it can be difficult, not in terms of our relationship, it's just, who's he going to be, what's going to happen. I remember one time being in a playground with my son. I went after school. It's not something I normally do. But we went because another mum told me to. And he ran over to this, you know, that ride where they all go round and round and round in the park. And then all the kids ran off. All the kids ran away from him. And then one of the kids said, Levi ruins everything. And I remember in that moment, I held it together. I was like, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to break down. But in my head, I was thinking, is he going to have friends? Is it going to? And that's what I was thinking. And so I was going to ask, what would your advice be to any boy, any girl, anyone that feels different, that they can't make friends? If you could give them a one-liner, looking ahead now where you have so many people that love you, like your amazing wife sitting over there, which we'll touch on next, by the way. what would your one-liner be to anyone that's feeling now like they're really lonely because they're different?
Embrace who you are. Embrace. Don't my one up. Embrace who you are. If they were meant to, if my mum always tells me this. If they were meant to be in life, they will be in life. She always told me that, and that's something I still remember. That you know, she told me that when I was 8. When I was speaking, this is when I was talking this small here and there. Because I've been through something similar. I was bullied. I'm not gonna lie, I was bullied. Similar to your son was bullied. I was bullied in secondary school. I had people calling me special. Like at the time, they just thought it's nothing that deep. But it was deep. It was deep to me because I went home crying about it. I don't cry. I don't hardly cry. I don't really cry, to be honest. But that actually hit me hard. I'm thinking, why am I? And I remember questioning my mum when I was about 12 to 14, around that. Probably, I'd say the age of 12, to be honest. I remember saying, Mum, why am I different? Like, why does no one get me? Like, what's going on here? And she'd go autism, but you have to accept who you are. This is the way God has made you. And you have to accept that. And obviously at the time, I wasn't really understanding then, but I understand what she meant now. And there's something around the one-liner is just acceptance. It's having that acceptance. Once your son accepts who he is, it's going to take time. It's not going to be it's not roses and petals. That's not reality. It's going to take time. And there's going to be times when your son gets older, when he's 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever it is, that he's going to question those, he's going to be questioning who he is. But why is people not understanding me? But at the end of the day, I want him to look back on this podcast or look back on my TikToks that it's okay. Like, it's okay to be who you actually are. And there's nothing wrong with you. Do you know what I'm saying? And I can't stress it enough because, you know, I don't know. Yeah.
Listen, Carl, Tola's about to burst. I'm giving her a breather. Wait, I'm giving her a breather.
Yeah.
Before we,
I can see her getting emotional.
Because we want to grab you and keep you here. But, you know, going on the... Thank you, first of all, because I pray that Levi, I pray that Kevin, I pray that all the children that we love, because there's so many kids that I love, my nieces, my nephews, everybody. And even if you don't have, if you're not neurodivergent and you're just so lonely and different, I hope that you can hear the words of Carl today and know that you need to embrace who you are and the people that love you will come. Going on to that, Carl. Yeah. You are one of the blessed ones who has found a soulmate, a person who will love you unconditionally, who will be by your side, who understands you, who's sitting in this room right now, who says she's being nosy, but it's really because she loves you and is here to support you too. Exactly. You found that, Carl. Yeah. And we have stats that show that with autism and people with a neurodifference, mental health is an increased risk. Being lonely, not having life partners is the percentage is so much. But you, again, have defied the odds and the statistics and have your beautiful woman beside you today.
A speck of a woman.
A speck of a woman too. Might we add? Listen, talk to us a bit about that. What is it like being married to someone, first of all, sharing your life with someone who... you haven't said it on your TikTok, but that we don't know isn't neurodivergent. Is that correct?
Yeah, she's neurotypical and I'm neurodivergent. So.
Okay.
And I actually did do a TikTok some few months ago about what is it like to marry what was it like to marry somebody who is neurodivergent. So I was talking about me, and then she was the neurotypical one. And it's different because it's a journey that we're both going through. Like she's understanding more about but what I love about my partner, my wife, and I'm very proud to say this, she's willing to educate herself. She might not know everything about autism, but she's willing to go the extra mile. She's willing to go and look on TikTok. She's always researching. She's never bored of researching it because she's accepting who I am and she's not changing who I am. And that's what's important. And I'm thankful to God that I found this woman because, you know, this woman came in my life at the right time, at the right place at the right time. Because I've been in previous relationships before. Before I married, I was in previous relationships with, and both my previous relationships with people that were non-typical, but didn't really understand autism as much as they didn't understand how it manifested in a relationship. So that one of the things that my wife has noticed, and I'm still learning myself now as a grown man, is PDA, pathological demand avoidance, which is part of the autistic thing. I do that all the time without even realizing it that I've done it until she pointed it out, and I was just like, wow.
Carl, can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
Can you give, because we don't have all the time now, but you mentioned I always thought PDA was public display of affection. So that's probably one PDA. Can you give me an example of how PDA, what you've just described, manifests itself in a relationship?
Yeah, it does. So, for example, if my wife, so a simple example, if my wife tells me to do something like wash dishes or tells me to make a cup of tea, I always say no, without thinking about it, without taking a pause, actually says, and actually thinking before you react. And the reason why that is because throughout my whole life, being a black autistic man, my life has always been totally so controlled. I thought there was a lot of limitations. I'm not just talking about employment. I'm not just talking about in school. I'm talking about in life, period. You get. I've been stereotyped. Oh, this guy's special. This guy's different. This guy's got no empathy. This lacks emotions. Like, and I'm like, bruv, like, are you for real? Like, are you kidding me? You don't know me, but you're already making a label. Oh, this guy's too friendly. It's too a lot of words. So the PD is a way of me protecting myself, but also is a me of gaining that control. And it's not always healthy in relationships. I'll be honest, it's not always healthy. But having a wife that is willing to look past that, because not a lot of people can look past that situation. They actually can't. A lot of people get divorced because of that. Because if they don't know how to handle it, they're gone. They're sail out on the chopping block. But I'm really, really fortunate, and sometimes I do. And that's something I'm still learning as I go along. I can't take my wife for granted because one day it could be like gone. And then what would I do then? And that's just me being honest, so.
You've said it so beautifully.
What a blessing.
So beautifully. It's not oftentimes that I don't know things to say, but you're ministering to me. You really and truly are, because oftentimes you do question, like, and I don't want to sound morbid or anything. I know that I love my son with everything. Yeah, like, there's not much that I wouldn't do for him. I can see
the bond that you and your son's got. Like, it's quite a unique bond. Like, is that mother and son? Every time I was like, yeah, it's like yin and yang, like best friends kind of thing. It's mad. And he looks up to you, like Kevin. Like, he might not tell you all the time, but I can see his smile when he talks about you. Like, it's mad. Like, I've been watching your TikToks for over a while, and I'm like, wow, is this what people have gone through? Like, is this what people have to go through every day? Like,
well, Carl, I know that I wouldn't be here forever, and that keeps me up at night sometimes.
Why?
Because I don't know if he would have that someone that would just love everything about him.
He will.
And
he will do.
It's not something that you can go to the shop and buy yourself, because I'd buy a dozen. Like, and if this one breaks, then you can use this one, then you can use this one, then you can use this one. But I know I can't.
It's a journey.
Give that.
Yeah.
And it keeps me up.
So please don't. Honestly.
I know his siblings would love the heck out of him as well, but then I know that I don't want their lives to be governed by Kevin. I want them to, if they want to move to America or move to Australia, I know that they would do what they need to do, but I would rather he found his person like you found yours. And I wish, I pray it. It's my utmost biggest prayer for him that, when I'm not here, and even when I'm here, because I'd love to see him in love. I don't know what it'd be like. I'd love to see it for myself.
I don't know what it is. I feel like he will surprise you. I feel like he will surprise you once he finds that right girl, once he finds that right life partner.
It's not easy, Carl.
It's not. I know it's not easy.
It's trying, and it's the ghetto.
Yeah.
It really is. Sis. You know these stories. It's the ghetto.
Yeah, it's the ghetto, man.
It is the ghetto,
exactly.
And on the outside looking in, it breaks me so much more for him.
Yeah, it breaks my heart when I see him. Like, when he was, I think there was one TikTok that I saw. I can't remember what it was, but I saw it, and he was saying that I don't feel special. Like, he mentioned something about the house. Like, it kind of broke my heart to me. I'm not going to say I'm loud, but it really kind of it hit me a little bit, because I'm like, wow. I wish I could sit with him right now and just give him hope. Like, I wish I could actually genuinely sit with him. I want him to look up to me as like a big brother.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through what you've been through, bro. I've been there and done it myself. I've been there and done it. And it's okay. Yes, it's not going to be easy. Yes, it's going to be tough. Of course it is. I'm not saying it's simple, but what I'm saying is, it's that with time, when you find the right person, it's not even just about finding the right person, it's when you find the right community. I just feel like your son hasn't really found that community yet. And it's not too late. It's not too late. Seriously, it's not.
Thank you for the reassurance. It honestly means the world. And it's so timely as well, because this is us right now. This is our reality now.
Wow.
So thank you for it.
Wow. No problem.
Carl, I want to ask you
Okay.
about, you've talked a lot about family.
Yeah.
You talked about a lot about family.
Facts.
And one of the things that we have been thinking about, me and Tola, is your tribe. Like the part that everyone has to play in your journey. Do you feel, or if you had to, actually I'll say it this way, because our aunties and uncles sometimes can be a bit sensitive. Yeah? Let me say it this way.
Yeah.
Don't upset the uncles.
And I'm not, I don't
So I
have
don't
the
wanna offend
energy.
anybody. I don't wanna
That one
offend.
is above my pay grade.
Very good.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't
Hey,
want
we
to-
accept you. We love. In fact, let me even do a dobala for any of them watching. Your hair, please, utmost respect. But if you had to speak to, you speak a lot about culture.
Yeah.
It's an epidemic. Some people just don't accept the diagnosis.
No, they don't.
And I think the saddest part is, like you said, your diagnosis is a part of your identity. It's just a part of who you are. It's not you're not limited, and it's not the entirety. No. However, what I've found is some kids are rejected. We have a group, our Breathe and Bond sisters.
Yes.
A growing community of over 300 women in there. And we have heard from our lives and in our chats, some of their family members have rejected their children.
Absolutely.
They haven't even got to know the person behind these small toddlers. All they see is diagnosis. We don't want those children near us. I want you to speak to aunties and uncles in our community. What can be done, or what advice would you give them to help open up their minds about the children in our community that have a diagnosis, and actually how much we need them?
To be honest with you, the advice I'll give, this is something I've been thinking about recently, actually, because there's a lot of aunties and uncles like that. Me coming from an Ashanti tribe, I'm a Ghanaian Ashanti tribe, and I'm not afraid, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. I'm never going to be ashamed of that. The advice I will give is, first of all, you need to educate. They need to educate themselves. You need to be around people with that diagnosis, with if it's autism, ADHD, Down syndrome, all of those other aspects. You shouldn't reject them. You shouldn't. But it's easier said than done. I know how it's, especially from the aunties and uncles generation. They're coming from an old school generation where disability is a foreign language to them. It's like speaking Spanish or something. But in reality, it's not. Like, this is your kid's reality. It's not going to change. So it's about educating yourself, going to different support groups, or going to different, watching things like this, watching podcasts, or going to different schools. If they're not really into podcasts or whatever, because not a lot, they're not really use of technology. Go in person, go to church groups, go to groups. Like, that's my advice. Like, actually go there, go and be bothered. Have an open mind. Come with an open mind perspective. Because you never know what's going to happen. You never know that testimony that another parent has probably gone through the same thing. Last month, this reminds me actually, last month I was in my local church, and I had the opportunity to talk about my journey, my story of autism, of a care for givers. And there was a lot of parents out there. Some of the parents themselves, they became speech therapists themselves. Because of their... They became speech therapy themselves. Why? Because they want to bond. They want to break this stereotype. And I remember the lady said, there was one lady that her name's called Victoria Lawrence, and she said she said that you have to come out of the denial. Because once you come out of that denial, a lot of them, they're in denial. That is a fact. They're in denial because what? Because because they're so burdened by what society is thinking of them. Oh, this guy's special. This guy's autistic. He's not going to come to nothing. He's useless. He's dumb. He's useless. That's not true. That is not true. It's not true. I'm a living example of it.
Yes.
Like, I came from not speaking a sentence. I can't emphasize this enough. I was bitten to live with no GCSEs. Imagine a teacher at 14 years old telling you. I looked at my previous games. It was D's in his. My dad was fuming. Because my dad was an advocate for education. He was fuming. Absolutely fuming. Man, is this people for real? So I don't know what I used. Like, I used that as fire. It gave me fire. It gave me that fuel that I needed. It gave me that fuel. I thought, you're not cool. You can say what you want. You can beat me what you want. You can beat me to not pass. When it came to the results day, 25th of August 2011, the way I was just laughing in the teacher's face, all the kids that were talking rubbish, all the kids that were just talking out of the arse, talking crap. I said, look, I left with 10 A star to C, including maths, and I got a distinction star in business. And then...
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Can I continue this? 'Cause it's gonna get even. I feel like I want to continue because it's just I want to give hope. You know, after that, I went to college, did my BTEC course in business. Cut story short, I went to university. I managed to graduate from university. Not only I graduated, I went through hell in university academically because of me speaking late, me not understanding, me not processing, I guess, information as quickly as a neurotypical person would have processed the information. But there was times, I remember I repeated first year, and I'll never forget, I gave my dad a phone call, and I said, Dad, I just want to quit. I just want to quit, to be honest. I just had enough. I need to quit. But I said, you're not quit. I don't want to hear that word quit. I don't want to hear that. You know how it's like, they're going in there. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear, you're not quitting nothing. You went for all this, you got to quit now. It's not happening. Thank God that if I quit, I won't be as successful as I was, as I am now, to be honest, if I quitted. I remember graduating of uni in 2017, cut the story short, because we could be all day. I had the biggest stand in applause. Literally everyone in the whole of the hall was standing up for me because they knew the struggles I went through. They knew some of my closest friends were clapping, like there were Snapchats, people snapping on their phones, probably smiling. I was like, wow. Like they're standing just for a boy. Like I come from East London, mate. Coming from the ends, like I come from the ghetto. I come from Pop, for crying out loud, and they're standing up for me. I thought, yeah, God, this is God. I was like this. I was like, thank God. Oh, that's all I can say. It's just God. It's God that's got me. God has got me there, and that's what I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say on this education journey. That's it.
Carl, listen. If it wasn't for coming out of shot, we are standing up for you too. We are everything you said here today. The way you're giving yourself, how you have lit up this room, how you have not just spoken, but like Tola said, you have ministered to my soul today. You have ministered to Tola's soul. And if I'll get in trouble for coming out of the shot again, I'll be doing standing ovation. You, Carl, honestly, you're a godsend.
Yes.
You are exactly what you already know you are, though. You are a godsend. Wow. You are chosen to be here in this generation now, not to just give hope to other black boys with autism, but to give hope to mums like me, mums like Tola, my friends, aunties and uncles, your mum and dad's peers, siblings that are neurotypical, that might have a neurodivergent sibling. You are a beacon of light and hope. You're an emblem of light for all of us. Yeah. And I just want to take this moment before we have to end this to say, our hearts cannot say thank you enough to you today. Wow. But I hope everyone listening has taken in this incredible human being. And a massive thank you to your beautiful woman over there. Your beautiful woman that you spoke about so beautifully. Who's a part of you and is a part of this journey and part of the reason why you're so wonderful too. So sis, we see you, and we love you. Yeah, we love you.
Thank you.
You're the tribe that we talk about, by the way. You're the tribe we talk about, the people that we need, surrounding people like you, Carl, surrounding people like Kevin and Levi, and everyone out there, our children that we love, to be the best that they can be.
Facts.
Wow.
We're at the end, sis.
I can't believe it.
Carl, we're gonna have to have you back. I feel like we just scratched the surface.
Absolutely. I still have a ton of questions, but I know that you've blessed me so much already, and there's even there's a ticking time bomb in my head of all the things that I need to go off and start to do things that I'm already thinking about. You've ministered to me. I think that's the best way I can say it, and I'm so grateful. And I know for sure that if we've taken this much, our viewers have taken. So it's not just for us; it's for the world.
Wow.
It's for the world.
It's for the world.
And for those watching, I beg you. I don't know why people reserve all the love. Comment, send love, DM him. Go watch his channel. What's your channel on TikTok, please?
It's Carl Autism Awareness.
That's it.
Autism Awareness. That's my channel. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's _9090.
Book this guy to speak.
Yes.
Bring him into your workplaces. Bring him into your churches.
Yes.
Bring him into your schools.
Yes.
Bring him into your youth centers.
Yes.
Bring him into parliament.
Yes.
Bring him
Please.
Give him a TEDx talk. This is what we're talking about, guys.
Change
This is
maker.
the hope, a change maker for all of us, not just those of us that have these people that have these children and lovely, incredible people that have these conditions close in our circles. He's a hope for everybody.
Everyone.
Carl,
you.
we love you.
Thank you
you.
so
Sisters,
much.
brothers, whoever is watching here with us.
Oh gosh, we hope.
Thank
that this
you.
episode blessed you.
Thank you
Like it's done us.
so much.
Thank you.
As usual, we hope that you've been blessed. We can't wait to see you next time. Share this
Yes.
with someone that
With
you love
everybody that you love.
and that someone that needs hope
Hear it.
today.
Thank you.
Till we see you again on the next episode. Bye, sisters.
Peace out.
Bye.
Odabo.